And we're live.
Howdy.
Hello. I don't know what happened. I got disconnected from server.
I think that was my internet.
Oh,
I
your
think.
internet dropped us all.
I believe it was Time Warner. Yep.
Ah, so sad.
Par for the course, really.
Yeah, I
I've been
mean,
having the problem a lot. It's just been going out for like 3 seconds and then comes back.
it's Bay. That song was called Candler Road. It's a Childish Gambino joint. And for anyone on YouTube, you probably missed that because I can't play it for you. I'm sorry. But welcome to the show, Frag Logic episode number 86. Joined by my
86.
86. Joined by my good friend Skyllus, aka Colin.
Howdy.
So listen, Colin. Before we get started with the show, I meant to tell you this earlier. I've been thinking about the Destroyer of Fun emoticon for you, and I figured it should be like a GIF. Almost, because they have. I mean, you can use animated ones if I'm
Do you
not
do
mistaken.
GIFs?
Pretty
I've never
sure.
seen an animated one.
I have. I have seen some.
Really?
So yeah, I was thinking about like the word "fun," and then like this boot coming down and stomping on it, and then your face.
The face might be a bit much. I
I think so. I think that's what we should do. We gotta get some support, but I was telling, I think it was Markin, that I had this vision of it, like fun and a boot stomp. And at the worst case scenario, like you show the boot like smashing down on fun, and then fun is like stretched underneath it, you know?
Yeah.
Either way,
It's kind of hard to sell in like 64 by 64 pixels.
oh, I think it's gonna work, dude. I think it's gonna work. So yeah, today we got we're gonna blaze through this. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of actually. I have to say, there's a couple big things, but a lot of little minor things that we want to kind of hit this week. Weekend gaming. So where we're gonna start it off, we got Blizzard cancels their recent MMO project, Titan. I want to say recent. They've been working on it for 7 years.
7 years, yeah.
We're going to talk about Steam game discovery. If you guys remember way back, hell, I think it was in February, March, and I was talking with Colin about it before, but we talked about Steam's game discovery issue, or potential issue that they were going to have, and we wanted to see some new tools for curating games and game discovery and stuff. And so they had a complete overhaul this past week for game discovery, just that, curation and stuff. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. MLG, out of nowhere, I actually watched the eSports report this morning, and they announced that they're creating an arena in Columbus. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Colin got some Dota 2 patch update discussion, talk about 6.82. Nemo was hitting us up on Twitter like 6.82 or die, pretty
Riot.
much.
Right.
Or Riot, same thing. Riot, die. We're going to talk, and Colin added Arena FPS Revival, so we're going to talk about that today as well. So we got a number of topics we're going to blaze through, but, it should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. What's up, Joe Keller? Welcome. First time watching the show live. I'm very happy to hear that. So, Colin, this weekend, obviously a lot of Destiny going on. I actually tried out the treasure cave, is what people are calling the treasure cave over in old Russia. It's interesting. I tried to run it by myself. Now, I was telling you the circumstance at which I did this little run. I was by myself. I loaded up the game, and for those of you that don't tune in the morning, like obviously there's certain issues.
Those
with
of you
that.
who don't tune in at 7 a.m. in the morning.
No, it's earlier than that. For those of you that don't wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and watch my streams, you're missing out. But no, I was up early, and so I've gotten this bug twice where, if you load up your Destiny client app and you start playing the game, you'll like look around, like you can play all the single player missions, but you can't connect to Crucible and you can't join a fire team. But it stores all your content. You can do everything by yourself. So it's basically like you're playing the game single player. I have no idea how to get this bug or whatever to occur, but I've gotten it twice now in like a week. And so I'll go to this spot at Treasure Cave, and I'm like, I thought everybody was gonna be here. Never mind it being 5 o'clock in the morning. I was like, I know somebody somewhere is up, and they should be at this spot. So I sat there and did it by myself, but it was kind of difficult to get all of the enemies killed in that one spot, so it drops all the loot in there just so you can keep it flowing. But it was fun. I mean, it was about as grindy as you could get, but I was like, oh, this is pretty efficient. I threw all my stuff in the vault, went there and like collected a bunch of stuff, went back to the crypt art, got a whole bunch of weapon parts and hydronic essence or whatever it's called. So I mean, it's a pretty good spot. The other spot that I roll in is Venus. There's this area where the Vex and the Fallen are fighting.
Yeah.
And I go there quite a bit. So
not nearly as good.
It's not nearly as good, but it's another spot that's really difficult to cover by myself. So it felt like, there was a lot of flow, but it's obviously not as fast as Treasure Cave by any means. And then the other thing I tried out was Queen's Wrath. I started that actually this morning. So that's why I actually went to Venus, and I was playing Patrol, and I did that spot. And then I went, because you had to get 200 headshots. It's one of the bounties on the Fallen. So I did that in like 30 minutes, I think, there. And then I did 2 bounties where I did the scout rifle headshots. And then I did the hand cannon. Colin, this is the first time I used the hand cannon, like, extensively. I think I had 4 kills with it before.
Yeah.
And then I hopped into this game, and I probably got like 50 kills with it total.
Do you have a 2-hit kill weapon with it?
I have a 2-hit headshot kill with it. Now, there's a couple times.
I've got an exotic, and it's 3 shots, and it sucks.
Really?
Getting 3 shots is rough. And that's body, head. 4 body shots with a 6-bullet clip.
Is it?
But an exotic. That's Thorn.
And it's three to the head?
It'd be like, it might be, I think it's probably 3 to the head.
So mine is, it's 2 to the head, but there's a couple times where I've shot a person in the head twice. I actually have it on video, and they come away with like 90% health. Or I'm sorry,
toughness, right?
10% health is what it looks like a little sliver.
Yeah.
So that's happened a couple times, and it's kind of pissed me off a little bit. But here's the thing that I figured out that you can do with the hand cannon. So you shoot their head, right? Drops their armor. So it's like a quick shot from a distance that you can't get with the shotgun. Then you blink at them, so it's like an aggressive move, and then you melee. Oh my god, Colin, once I figured out that you could do that, I was like wrecking people. It was ridiculous, dude. It was ridiculous.
You could probably do the same thing with a shotgun that had longer range, or like the zoom down scope to make it longer ability.
Oh man, Colin, like,
that's more
I figured that out. I went on like a 13 kill streak because it was my very last game, and I was like, I wonder if I can just headshot melee people.
Yeah.
And I did. I started doing it. I was like, boom, 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 boom. It was, sick. So I might have been converted on the hand cannons. I was a non-believer at first, but again, I only fired like 4 shots. But I finished both of those bounties in like maybe an hour and a half for scout rifle headshots, and I wasn't going for it like hardcore. Like, I was switching weapons, and I was trying to actually win the game. So it was definitely interesting to do those. Now, look, we both talked about this before the show. Fucking Queen's Wrath, right? Like,
it's so lame.
Look, I was like, because I didn't even know about it. Like, I just happened to hop on. I was like, what are these? Oh, Queen's Wrath. Then I went and Googled. I was like, what is Queen's Wrath? Oh, I get some legendaries. And I looked at them. I was like, those weapons kind of suck.
They're rares.
Or rares, rather. I was
rares
like, those kind of suck. And so they're like, yeah. So the place that was blocked initially, right behind the robot bounty guy.
It was in beta as Iron Banner, I believe. That area opened up the Iron Banner stuff.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. So I go, and this is exactly how you described it, and I had the exact same thing happen. I'm like, shit, this is a big area. So I go walking back there. I'm like looking around. I'm like, where's everyone at? I'm like, okay, where's this? And then I see somebody in the background, like on a little table. So I'm like, oh, that must be the little merchant. So I run all the way back there. mind you, this space is fucking huge, right?
Yeah,
Like it's
it's like
huge.
the size of the entire courtyard area.
So I run out there, go back, and I look at the stuff, and I'm like, this is kind of lame. And then there was like no story,
No
no.
dialogue at all. No bounties. No like
He
hello.
didn't. He didn't even. Yeah, he would say, "What's up?" He wasn't like,
There's no
"Hey, what's
words.
up? It's just me and you here, dude. What's up? Hey, I got some. I got that fire for you. You want? Yeah, like he didn't open his jacket and show me his gold chains. Nothing. Like no dialogue.
Nothing at all.
Silent merchant. New content. So this kind of leads me to believe that I look. I don't know what the DLC is going to look like, man. I'm not convinced that I should spend $35 on DLC for Destiny.
I'm just upset because they were hyping it up like, yeah, do missions for the Queen for the Reef. So I was like, oh shit, the Reef's gonna be out there. We're gonna go to the Reef to get our quest and talk to the Queen, which is probably the best cutscene in the story. Like there was only a few anyways, but like the cutscenes with the Queen were probably the coolest ones. So it's like cool. We get to go to the Reef, get to talk to the Queen. Maybe it'll be like a hub area, like a small hub area for to grab the quest from.
Yeah.
No, none of that.
No. No.
It's just an NPC. No dialogue, no story whatsoever, no reasoning for why we're hunting these fallen dudes. Nothing at all. No exposition whatsoever. It's really weak. I mean, it's not even like an update or DLC. Obviously, this stuff is on the disc. There's enabling a variable, but it's pretty lame. And the rewards aren't even that great. Apparently, if you do a bounty, you get a mission, and then when you do a mission, you get a random legendary. But even looking through those, like it's not better than the gear you could purchase from the side store. So like if you already have straight legendaries and your one exotic armor piece, like
Yeah.
there's really no reason besides cosmetic purposes to equip it at this point.
That's the only like I was looking at. I was like, maybe I'll get some of the cosmetic stuff. That's it. Like that's all I'm interested in, which is sad.
Yeah, but then the weapons are just the rares, which, like you said, weren't very good.
Right.
From what I
So
saw.
I don't know. Like I'm just hoping that it just continues to like that's what everybody keeps saying, right? Like it's going to continue to improve. Let's continue to improve. And that's the PvE aspect. Like PvP, I've told you guys, like I'm having a blast on PvP. Just like amazing time doming people with the sniper, like doing ridiculous stuff with Blink. Like, dude, it's so fun to me right now. It's so fun.
I have fun in skirmish. I have some fun in Rumble. Not so much with the 6v6 stuff, but skirmish is fun. I enjoy playing skirmish with the group especially.
Major Black, what's up? Zombie Jesus, what's up? He said, did you guys enjoy Destiny? We did a pretty thorough analysis of it last week, and actually our initial impressions. I would say, I think we're enjoying it, but in terms of PvE, I think both of us are kind of lukewarm on it. I personally I think I enjoy the PvP a little bit more than Colin in general. But I mean, here's the thing: like everyone keeps saying, like, the game it's kind of lukewarm, like it's okay, but they keep coming back to the game. I think there's a couple reasons behind that, right? Like, there's nothing else out. There's
nothing else. Yeah,
there's nothing else.
That's really the deal breaker for me right now. And like by middle to end next month, some of the stuff starts coming out, and then November's huge.
Yeah,
I currently am not seeing a world in which I'm playing Destiny in November.
But PlayStation,
outside of the DLC,
those PlayStation users though,
the PlayStation,
they'll still be on it. A couple of the games that might pull it off, but they'll still be on it. So Colin, there's a game that I had to add it because I've been talking about it for like 6 weeks straight. I think I had it as one of the games I was playing.
Yep.
And I was like, dude, you need to try it out.
I tried it.
Brave Frontier.
Brave Frontier, iOS game. I didn't realize that it was actually a exact clone of Puzzle and Dragon, which I had been mentioning that I've been playing recently.
I told you.
Like the mechanics are the same, all the way down to like you get units, and then you can fuse other units into them, and you can evolve them with certain recipes. They have like a single story quest line where you go dungeon, 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 and then you get a gem for completing all of them.
I told
like
you.
Even that stuff, like the transaction model is identical. Like they straight up just unabashedly copied the entire formula. Even the fonts and stuff that they use are the same, and the way they do events. So, anyways, I tried it. Like visually, it is way better than Puzzle and Dragon. in terms of like they have animations for the attacks and everything.
Yep.
Like Puzzle and Dragons just basically just they show a boss monster on the screen and then you blow it up. So
Snowman,
like that was
what?
cool. That was cool.
Shit. I need to check my level. I can't remember. I'm pretty high, I think.
I'm at 24.
I'm much higher than that. I need to grab my phone and I could look at it. I don't have my phone in here with me, which is unfortunate, or else I would pull it up. I want to say I'm pretty damn high. I just can't remember what specifically my character level is right now. But it's pretty high. I played it quite a bit. Like I had nothing else to play. I could not play anything. So trust me, it's pretty high. And I spent some money. I think I spent $30 on it. So put
In
some
the end,
time
though,
in.
I have enjoyed the strategy of Puzzle and Dragon much more than Brave Frontier so far.
You just need to get. You need to
It's
get.
really Brave Frontier to me. See, it feels like it's more just the order that you attack in is really like the only thing which only decision you're making turn to turn currently. And I just
Right.
straight up I auto attacked through the first few dungeons because there was no chance I was ever going to die. So I just like had the phone sitting next to me while I was doing other shit. I'm staring at the cave in Destiny and clicking auto attack on fucking Brave Frontier, not playing either game really.
Wow.
So yeah, compared to Puzzle and Dragon, where I need to kind of think about it, I can also do a lineup in Puzzle and Dragon that's like straight fire units, and then just
Mm-hmm.
try and get like just fire combos, because you can get more damage that way because you can fine tune your team for it. And Brave Frontier doesn't really seem to have those kind of options. It's just kind of what you throw out there.
Yeah.
Rainbow strategy seems best. Like we have
Uh,
each.
Snowman, I will put my Brave Frontier ID probably in the description when it goes to YouTube. Because, like I said, I need to pull up my phone. I haven't logged in like weeks, maybe like 3-4 weeks. Just not. I can't play it now. I got all these games that come out. So, I switch to topics. Blizzard cancels Titan MMO after 7 years. There's an article that I was reading on Polygon about this. I'll throw it in chat for you all. Characters, what's up, man? Let's get the.
Did you update the icon? I can't tell.
I didn't, Colin. I have to email it in. I haven't had. Well, I've had time, but
Haven't
I
thought
gotta
about
I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I also have to come up with a subscriber icon for everybody. Um. So Blizzard cancels Titan, which is their project that MMO project that they've been working on for 7 years. I put the link to that article in the chat for you guys. This is pretty interesting. I mean, Blizzard has canceled a number of projects in the past. The most recent I remember was it StarCraft Ghosts?
I that's probably not the most recent, but yeah,
That's
StarCraft
just
Ghost
one of the
was
one I
one of them.
remember.
As a StarCraft
Um,
FPS.
yeah. So, I mean, there's a couple things, right? Like from a development standpoint, decisions have to be made, right? Like, and I think Blizzard is in a spot where they can afford to contradictory to what Michael Patcher has said, Mr. Analyst. They're in a position to be able to cancel a project, like if they're not enjoying it, if the team morale is not good, they can say, hey, we're not into this anymore. This isn't who we are. And I think that article really does a good job kind of saying, okay, these are the reasons why we did this and why we canceled it. Heart wasn't in it. We got a lot of other side projects that have basically taken off. And I think in the grand scheme of things, this is a good showing on their part for how a studio, even after so long, if they can financially afford it, can look at a project and say, we need to step back from that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That said, I'm sure there's be some discussion internally about why the hell it took so long to kind of get to that conclusion.
Conclusion, yeah.
Because I mean, I remember it was like 3 or 4 years into it, they had just scrapped the entire project and restarted with a small team. That was like 2011, I think, was when that kind of news started. Where it was like, hey, they had a really big base, and then they're like, this isn't fun, so they started over again with a smaller
Right,
team. And they
right.
took some of their stuff, and then for it to take another 3 years after that to be like, yeah, this just isn't working. Uh, that's expensive. But like you said, Blizzard's able to do that
Yeah.
more so than almost every other studio.
So I mean, look, in the process of kind of creating games, I really I want to say appreciate. I kind of admire that because I've worked on now 3 games. I did Sims when I was in QA, Pets. I did obviously Loadout, and I'm currently working on Fortnite. So in my game development career so far, I've worked on 3 projects, and in studios, like, you hear guys like, hey, well, what about this project? What about this project? What about this? And the decisions that have to be made around those, taking them or not doing them. Loadout, for example, when I was at Edge, we did Transformers while we were working on Loadout, and you pull resources from the teams, and it's like you have to mix and manage a lot of projects that are coming your way. Some of them you have to turn down, and I think it's always good to hear, like, even if it took that long, just to say, okay, we need to reevaluate this and kind of step away, because I think there's times when people get caught up, or they have to churn out a game and then they might not want to. For example, like some of the franchise titles, they have to churn them out year after year after year, so they meet those sales, get those benchmarks, pull in money for some of those publicly trading companies. I think that's a good look on them. You know what I mean? I like that. And the thing I want to kind of talk about with Michael Patcher is he says the cancellation is a problem for Blizzard. And he's talking about the decline in WoW subscribers. It's from like its peak at, was it 12 million? And now it's at like half of that at 6 million, which is still that's still a hell of a lot of people playing, or paying, I should say, playing and paying.
Yeah.
A monthly subscription fee is pretty ridiculous to me now, right? But at the same time, it's like, dude, do you know how many games Blizzard has? And you're talking about, wow, like they got Diablo, which is, you mentioned it, it's like much better than it was, especially for console. Hearthstone, Heroes of the Storm is in the pipe.
And you have another WoW update coming very soon.
Exactly. So, I mean, you look at all those, it's like, yeah, sure, WoW it might start, which is going to happen, right? It's going to go on the decline at some point. But they had some killer games. Like Hearthstone is like, it's pretty fucking big now, right? Like, I don't think there's any denying that they're probably financially set still, even with WoW on the decline. I mean, it's no question that they still have a lot of mind share right now in the space. So I can't help but disagree with our resident video game analyst, Mr. Michael Patcher.
Yeah, I mean, it is something where like Titan may have been a catch-all for those WoW subscribers that are going away. Now they have to kind of find other ways to account for that and adjust for that. But I think the success of Hearthstone and even Diablo doing better than it was at launch will help fill some of that gap. But really, the next WoW expansion, the last time there was a WoW expansion, it spiked up like 1 million plus. So
Right. Joe Keller, you asked, what would Titan have done differently than WoW? Look, there's been a lot of MMOs that have come and gone. The issue is, like, I don't think there would have been anything different, to be honest. Like, I think the genre has almost been exhausted, with the best alternative, in my opinion, personally, being Final Fantasy 14 and previously Final Fantasy 11. You could say Guild Wars. There's a couple other games coming out. Arcage? Which just released, I want to say, and they had some problems with their launch, I believe. But the thing is, like, when you make an MMO, I feel like it's all about content, right? And that's one of the issues that Destiny has. Is like, if you're going to come into the space, you got to bring the content, because basically, especially on PC, you're trying to play catch up to WoW, and they have 10 years on you. They have 10 years of content. So even if you enter the space and you got all the bells and whistles, you're still not going to be at the point where WoW is now. Like, it's just not going to even be close. So for them, even if they had a new MMO and they're able to get 12 million people back into it, they still would probably lose a significant chunk of those folks. And I think the model for Subscribing to games is a little different, so they probably have to change that around. But you're talking about trying to catch up in content for a game that's come out or that's been out for 10 years. It's pretty hard, pretty difficult. So I don't know. I don't really. I haven't played an MMO since Final Fantasy 11. If you want to count Destiny, we'll go ahead and throw that in there. But I can't say that. I think I would have been interested in seeing what they were trying to bring to the table. You know, like what was it? Was it mechs? Was it Titans? Titan mechs?
Who knows?
Certainly interesting. So that's definitely a thing. I would love to hear what people have to say on YouTube about Titan. Like, is it something that you would want to buy or would have been interested in, would have wanted to know more about? That and this is the other thing, real quick before I switch, is there was no leaks on this.
Very few.
Like I don't even know if have we ever gotten concept art?
I think there was some stuff.
I don't remember any, but I would love to see like what the game was going to look like. Because that would probably be go a long way. So let's go ahead and go to Steam Discovery. We're blazing through. So Colin, are you ready to be a curator?
I'm hesitant.
Why?
It's kind of like I feel like they're in the same issue they have with the curator system as they have with the games. You know, like, I need a discovery system for curators because there's going to be so many.
But here's the thing.
If you can follow my my jumps there.
The issue with well, here's my issue with it is it might be hard to find them, but it's going to be the same thing where the most popular ones are always populated, or more often than not populated at the top, right? Like,
yeah, which is more like it's a curator system, but really there's only going to be like 10 to 20 like top curators that will consistently come up if that's what you're looking for. To a point where like I'm not sure that it's, and I'm not sure it's the answer to finding good games. Although I did immediately follow like Total Biscuits, for example, because I usually find that I agree with him on games.
right.
I'd probably do the same thing on Angry Joe, since I generally agree with what he has to say in his reviews. So like I can see like YouTubers that are already really popular for that kind of stuff. It'd be a nice way to kind of condense all that. So like when I go to buy a game, it's something that I can look at. But like actually using it when I really have no idea what I want, it's gonna be a bit different.
Right.
I don't think it really helps.
I feel like we should have a Frag Logic curator group.
We can, just like I said, it's low discoverability, right?
Right.
Because really, if you didn't watch the show, if you weren't part of our YouTube channel, you wouldn't know about it, and you wouldn't find it either.
Right. So I mean, for anyone that doesn't know or understand why this is a pretty important move, and this is something that Valve needed to do for Steam. We had talked about this, like I said, back in maybe March, or at the latest early April, and there was an article that came out that talked about how many games have been released from the start of 2014 to like March or April, whenever it was, and there were more games released in that short time span, it was 4 months, than the entire 2013 game release year on Steam. And the problem that we had talked about during the show was the ability to find games that are actually worth playing. And their discovery algorithm for it it wasn't very good for surfacing that information, right? Like you get new games, you get like popular games, and then that's like it, right? Like there's pretty much it. And then they added reviews, which kind of helped. You could upvote, downvote certain things, recommendations, which is all like the community curation part of it, which I think a lot of people are starting to kind of look towards. And this is obviously the model that they kind of have now.
They tried the tag system, which was a bit of a failure. Yeah.
Yeah, forgot about that. Um, but the current process, and I have to mention this statistic because it's fucking mind blowing, literally mind blowing to me to think about this. There are 3,700 games in total on Steam. 3,700. 1,300 games have been released in the last 9 months. 13 fucking hundred games have been released in the last 9 months on
About
Steam.
30%. Yeah.
That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. So obviously this is an issue. And if you're a developer that's trying to publish on this platform, that's a big, big deal. Trying to scream for attention amidst all these other games that are coming out. And you're probably hanging on by a thread. Like, they have a lot of users, but at the end of the day, it's like, hey, I need people to play my game or we're going to go under. So what they're trying to do is they're making personalized recommendations in addition to the curated stuff that we talked about. Recent gameplay is what they're curating for. So, whatever games that you're currently playing, they might try to populate some games that perhaps have the same tags or are similar in genre or that are popular in that specific genre to you that you haven't tried out. Past purchases is a behavior that's going to surface new games for you. Suggestions from friends are going to be surfaced to you, and then obviously like I mentioned before, the select games from content curators like Total Biscuit, and I believe they're actually calling the program Tastemakers.
What?
That's what they're calling them, Tastemaker.
What? Where does it say that? I don't see that anywhere.
I look.
Become a tastemaker yourself. Wow.
I
That is pretty bad.
I told you, Tastemaker. So we need to have some Frag Logic tastemakers.
Tastemakers.
We're gonna be tastemakers, recommending games to you guys.
That's funny because usually on Amazon you call those affiliates, right?
Exactly.
And an affiliate would make a percentage of the purchase on the sale. Where if I had a website that was pushing money into your marketplace, I would make a little bit of money from you on the back end of it. That's what other sites call it, is affiliate programs. Ultimately, what's going to happen is, before it was already happening, right? If I post something on YouTube, we have a decent following. If I'm Total Biscuit and I post something on YouTube, I have a strong following. It's going to drive people to buy that game. It's been seen time and time again. YouTubers are probably at this point the single biggest driving factor for game sales.
I would agree.
Outside of like AAA blockbusters where you already have huge marketing budgets and everything. They're huge influencers. Before, they would do a video, you would go to the website, you'd search for it, you'd find it on the shop page, and so on and so forth. Now they're getting extra data, right? Because it's part of a curator list. They know that they created this many sales from you through your curator link in that video. But you're not getting anything from it. They're just getting data that they can use to kind of say, okay, this is the influence that YouTubers have on our sales, for example.
Yep.
And they can kind of tie it to specific YouTubers and specific curators. But they're not giving them anything for it. They're just getting increased data on their sales behaviors and potentially driving more sales if the curator thing becomes something that's linked by those YouTubers more often. So to me, it seems like it's a win for Steam across the board because they're just getting more data and the same amount of sales or greater sales. And really, they're having the curators do some more groundwork for something that doesn't really support them. Outside of like, they allow you to put your YouTube link in the comment, so you can say, hey, I did a review on this and link to it. But really, those people that, if I look at the curators list and it's like Total Biscuit, and it's like, okay, I've never heard of him. And it's like, really, if you were going to respect him and follow him, you probably have already heard of him, right?
Right.
Like the one sentence thing at the top, like, I like RPGs. It's like, oh shit, I also like RPGs. That's not really how it's going to work. It's going to be like, oh yeah, I know that guy, and then you follow him. Right. So like, I don't really see how anyone is incentivized to do anything and keep up a curated, updated list, and really like what incentive there is for that at all, or how it comes back to the people in the end. It seems like Steam just benefits on all ends for this.
Steam and perhaps some of the games that are the developers, right? Like
developers maybe, but really they were already getting the bump.
Yeah. So I mean,
and now I feel like because it's taking up a chunk of the front page, there's less discoverability outside of what the top curators are showing, potentially. Depends on how they structure everything and how much other stuff, the lesser known games, kind of get surfaced to the top.
Right.
But otherwise, like it's heavily weighted towards what those YouTubers at the top of the curated list are showing off.
I mean, I agree with that. There's some portion of it that I'm kind of concerned with because so many YouTubers base um, their game, their audience around one game,
Yep.
Minecraft, for example, that they probably don't try to discover too many other games, or they don't give the other games the due diligence because they're not going to give them time on their channel because it doesn't get net them views. You know what I mean? So for some of those folks, it's probably going to be bad. Other people, it's probably going to be pretty good. So I'm really interested to see who all is going to use it. Like PewDiePie, the Total Biscuit, Angry Joe. Are we gonna see more people than that? I would really love to see who all like delves into it and tries to get into it. I'm interested in making one, but I have to get back on. Like I haven't touched my PC in a little while to play any games, so that's obviously an issue right now for me to do that. Got to be playing. But yeah, I don't know if it's something that you guys have thought about. If you haven't, like, I know there's always people like, what is the new hot game to play right now, right? Like, what game should I be playing? And then you go look on Steam, and then you go to like early access to try to see what's popular. I mean, it's pretty difficult to find games. So I'm definitely kind of anxious to see how this plays out. If it's well received by the community and the developers for that matter. I have it days where I'm too lazy to open a web browser to see what some people think of games. It sounds perfect, Drew. Let's hit this. Bam, new topic. MLG Arena in Columbus.
Saw the tweet on this. I didn't read any of the details.
So, eSports report, Puckett interviewed Clap, which it's weird. Maybe they're in different locations, but it's weird to me to see like they both work for MLG, so they're like
Clap is Clap is centralized in Columbus. He's
Is he?
from,
Okay.
From Ohio, working in Ohio,
Okay, I didn't realize he was there now.
and Puckett's in New York, I think.
Okay. So, Puckett did an interview with Clap, and they talked about MLG's new arena that they're creating in Columbus, Ohio. It is going to house their Season 3 playoff finals, if I'm not mistaken. And
That's going to be done soon, then.
it's going to be done soon. I believe what Clap said is that obviously with this first event, they still had to flesh a lot of things out, but it's going to be similar to the X Games setup in Austin, where they had the basically the gold medal. Yeah. So I guess he's talking about the general like layout of it is going to be similar to that. This will not have VIP, so there's some people that have asked already for that VIP section for it. And they would like to have events pretty frequent at this location, which obviously makes sense to kind of get people there. But I'm kind of wondering if like this to me this is almost like a glorified LAN center, right? Like Zach Johnson from eBash just made some very similar talks about trying to build a dedicated like esports center, LAN center. And so this kind of reminds me of the same thing. Obviously, they don't have the same reach as MLG, so if they stream from a dedicated location, eBash is not going to pull in that many more people than MLG. That's significantly less. But the idea of a dedicated arena, it's been around for a while. They did it at CGS, Championship Gaming Series. A lot of you guys might not remember that. What's up, Junglist? The other ones have been mostly the current like PGA style that we've seen now, where you just travel to an event. I believe in Europe they also have a couple dedicated centers, if I'm not mistaken, and there's one in China, right? There's a dedicated arena in China that MLG
is working on as part of like a business complex, or a tourism complex. I guess it's more what it's entertainment complex.
I don't know what to call it,
Yeah.
but I believe
I think culture complex is what they used.
Okay. So yeah, I know they invested in making another like dedicated arena in China, which is obviously a good market for it because that culture there is much more gaming tournament centric than we currently are. But I think we're kind of catching up now. I am interested to see how this plays out because of what happened with CGS. That was 6 years ago.
1,400 square feet is big, but it's not huge. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think eBash was around 7,000, if I remember right. So I'm trying to think, like, compare it to that. Obviously, it'd probably be more of an open air type setup, though, which would increase the amount of space. But still, like, that's big, but not huge.
Was Bloomington Bloomington 10,000 square feet?
I think it was around that.
Between 7 and 8.
I just looked at the eBash Indianapolis is 7,000.
7,000. Okay. So it's half of that, and I haven't actually been to that store, but from the pictures I saw, it looked pretty nice.
Terre Haute.
Okay.
Maybe
so, yeah, I mean, this is. Look, I think this could be the future, right? So I think it could be. I don't know if it's a little preemptive still, but I want it to be madly successful, but I don't
hope it's
know.
successful, but I also grew up in the area and was down in Columbus almost every year, pretty much visiting family. I'm not that convinced that there's a large enough group to fill that regularly. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and for people to be interested every single week to going out there to watch matches. I mean, there's OSU there, but that's it, really.
I don't.
And there's not really a sports culture in general in Columbus because there's the Crew. That's it.
It's true. It's true.
And the Blue Jackets, I guess now.
So look, the one question I had is like you, why Columbus? That's the only thing I don't really understand. And I know they've had some really successful events out there in the past, but if I'm not mistaken, like I feel like they would have more success on the West Coast than
Tri-State or the West Coast, either way.
Right, or the Tri-State area, which
next
is
to some high population areas. Like there's nothing around Columbus. Like no one's going to drive from Akron or Toledo or Cincy or Cleveland,
right,
or anything past that to go to spectate events every week.
And look, they haven't truly embraced the fighting game community, but if you look at like the things that they're doing over the West Coast, I feel like they need a dedicated eSports arena there. Like that would benefit the West Coast and the East Coast for the FGC community. I don't know about Call of Duty teams because the structure of it is so different. Like you have people all over, right? Like there might be a couple dudes on the East Coast, but there's they're all spread out. They got a couple gaming houses. There's a couple things where I feel like it doesn't quite pan out. But I mean, I would go where the people are. I think obviously the factor of like the cost is probably a big thing. Like it's probably way cheaper
I'm sure
to have it in Columbus, Ohio versus LA or Anaheim or somewhere on the West Coast or New York for that matter. Is it cheap to build? Yeah, Kelly, that's exactly the point that we wanted to make.
And it also has like a really sprawling suburban area around Columbus where you could build for probably much cheaper than downtown, but there's lots of space to build. You know what I mean?
Yeah, FGC community. I didn't realize I said that.
Yeah, I don't know how they'll fill events on a weekly basis or regular basis.
Yeah. I feel like it'll be pretty good for potentially cutting down some costs on them traveling to a lot of other different venues, right, and buying out all this space for different places.
It's also just generally a hub when they want to fly out, like 12 StarCraft players for a tournament, or where they were trying to do that in the offices in New York City last time for the last couple of events, where they've set up all the stations and everything in their like 30-story office,
Yeah.
So I imagine this is them finding a solution for that problem. But still, like, again, population center, Columbus is not really.
Not popping.
It's not popping.
So that's with the MLG Arena. I don't know how many. Like we haven't talked about tournament stuff in a little while. At least not MLG stuff. I feel like it's been like Dota and League. So a bit of MLG news. I think that I want to see some images pop up for this place, like what it looks like. I hope we get some of that here really soon. Next up, we got the patch, and Colin, that's all you, man. Dota 2 patch update 6.82.
Oh, it's right next to the airport too. Sorry, they have the address on one of these articles.
Do they?
Yeah, it's right next to the airport down there.
Oh, interesting.
Anyways, yeah, Dota got a patch, or is getting a patch. It's in the test server now. Lots of changes. Let me get the link for anyone that actually follows Dota. You probably already have the link. I'll put it in chat. It's called the Rekindling Soul update, which is the huge balance patch that everyone was waiting for post-international. Same thing they've done the last few years, where it's like post-international, about a month or two, they work on some stuff, then they release like a big patch that changes the way the game is played, essentially, and they get all their big meta changes in. So with this one, the big changes are they're changing the map for the first time in, I believe, a very long time for Dota, where they're making the Roshan pit face towards mid because Dire Side had a better advantage getting to it before. So they're trying to balance that out. And then before, a rune would spawn every 2 minutes at either the top or the bottom river. And now they're going to spawn... It's still going to spawn at one of the locations, but before, like, you get screwed if you went to the top and it went bot and you just kind of get unlucky. So now, once that'll get the rune, then another rune, a bounty rune, which is brand new, will spawn at the other location. So each person gets something in that case. And the bounty rune will give you gold and experience over time, which that alone is going to change things big time. Because carries now might grab that rune instead of their mid player. Or they might like leave lane and farming to go grab the bounty rune real quick, or supports might grab it to get some farm. So it's going to change things quite a bit, just having that small change. Besides that, almost every single hero got reworked as well, or changed, and balance changes. So, gonna be crazy. I'm excited. Really excited, actually. But yeah, you can see the full change list at the link I posted in chat if you are interested in reading, or if you follow Dota, even somewhat casually. Some of it's interesting. Timbersaw, 2 chakrams with Og Scepter KO. It's gonna be good.
Are you can't like itching to play this so you can see what it's like, this update?
Yeah, I'm really curious just to see how it plays out. What's really interesting is if history repeats itself, the update will go live on the main server on Thursday, and then ESL 1 New York City, where they're playing at Madison Square Garden, is this weekend. So they could potentially be playing on the new update with all these changes, with money on the line, which as a player would suck. But as a fan, I'm pretty interested in seeing. So I hope the update goes live Thursday. If not, then it'll probably be next week, which will be fine too. But I'm mostly interested. There's been some pretty big changes. Ability draft. I don't know if you've. I don't know if I talked about it before, but you actually draft abilities from a bunch of different heroes. So you get you make your own hero essentially, and some of the changes are going to make that pretty crazy again. So I'm looking forward to playing that, even though it's outside of the competitive umbrella,
Right.
But that'd be fun.
Frontline, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's really sad news about Danny. We're getting over it. Just kind of been tight with the guys and talking a lot with them. So, thanks, appreciate it. I'm still not gonna play. I'm just gonna play Heroes of the Storm.
I'm still waiting on Heroes of the Storm. Apparently, they said they're doing another wipe, and then I'd assume there'd be an alpha or a beta after that. They said it'd be the last wipe, right?
Yep.
So
that's what I'm playing, dude. That's my game. Nova.
I'll hop over there and immediately be better than you because I play Dota.
That's fine. It's fine. Here's the thing. I don't even care if people are better than me. Like when Bigness and I played a couple times, all I do is follow him around. Like I will be your support. Like I can play a support character just fine. Like that's all I need to do. I don't need to be the dude tearing everybody up. Just tell me what to do. Give me some instructions. I'll follow them to a T. That's it.
All right. Are we gonna set up a full competitive team?
We are. We're gonna smash people's heads in.
Since some of you guys have played Dota, we'll have to do it on that game. All right.
Yep. All right. This is the last topic. Then we get into questions. But I'm gonna have the Xbox thing in there. Play Smite. I will. I'll try it out when it comes on Xbox. Again, I just want to see what it plays like. Arena FPS Revival, Colin,
Yep.
is real. It started with Titanfall for me.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's fair. And I told you it would happen.
Yeah,
I foretold this like 6 years ago, if
you
you
did.
remember.
You did.
I was saying that
It will
everything was
come
going
full
towards
circle.
was going realism. Everyone was into COD. Everyone was into like Ghost Recon, like all the realistic shooters, Rainbow. And
Yep.
I said eventually, it's all gonna come back around to an arena because everyone's gonna want something shiny and fast. And I think it's finally starting to happen. This is the beginning. It's the beginning. And maybe these two games I'm about to talk about aren't actually it, but interest is there.
I agree.
So this week there was two big trailers. Reflex, which is kind of like really it's almost a Quake clone if you watch the trailer. But they announced a Kickstarter and posted up a trailer. Um,
I'm gonna try to play it.
Let me know if you get it playing. So I can't see.
That's a Kickstarter page. So I'm on it right now. I just need to turn down this volume. Go ahead and talk. I got it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to just let it play or
I can.
just let it play? Just let it play.
All right.
Yeah, so they're pretty much it's like the CPMA Quake mod
Yep.
as a standalone game with more features and map editing and that kind of stuff. Which is interesting. I thought it was a questionable decision of them to actually use maps from CPMA and Quake 3 during their trailer. Like those were just remakes of Quake maps in a couple of those videos, and it already looks very much like Quake, right?
Yeah, it does.
Just with CPMA style air control and like some of the tuning differences. And then they had some really pretty concept art stuff to show.
Is this the game that's made by
This is
Duke
not
from
the game by Too Good, which is what you're probably about to say, right?
Yeah.
James Harding.
It's not?
No, he's making Reborn, which adds to
Oh,
the
shit.
confusion because it's Reborn and Reflex, which are both kind of modeling themselves after Quake. But we're still waiting on information for Reborn.
Well, yeah, I watched that Reborn
I thought the
trailer.
Reborn stuff seemed more interesting, personally.
Yeah, I mean, some
Because they
of
were
the...
doing stuff that wasn't Quake. You know, like this is
Exactly.
straight up Quake.
Exactly. So, that looks good. I mean, it looks
fun.
clean. It looks
very
fun.
clean. I like the outlines on the characters. I think that's a nice touch.
That's definitely interesting.
But the goal they're asking for is $360,000, which I think is obviously like for a indie studio that's high, for like a proper studio that's really low.
Colin's internet went out. Wasn't me, guys. Promise you. Look, he's not even answering. Colin, I promise you, dude, that was yours.
No, it's yours. The stream went out. Did the stream go out?
It might have.
I think the stream went out, so it's on you.
We both have Time Warner, so
I'm sorry.
fuck you, Time Warner. Fuck you.
Yeah, no matter what, it's Time Warner's fault.
Either way, like it's just Time Warner screwing us because that's what they like to do. So $360,000 goal for Reflex Kickstarter, pretty ridiculous. Not gonna lie, that's a lot.
Especially when they're like, yeah, we're a 3-man dev team. I know there's other costs, but that's rough.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the project which has a better chance of actually happening and being successful is Toxic, which released a gameplay trailer this week. I don't know if you want to try to roll that or not.
No, I'm gonna hold off.
I'll pull up in chat. We'll put a link in description on YouTube.
Yeah.
But Toxic is essentially done. Like, it looks like it's done from the video.
Right.
Weapons are arted out. Maps are arted out. They have vehicles, gameplay, modes. All of it's done. They still have, like, alpha and beta stuff. They still have to go through alpha and beta.
Right.
And it seems like that'll be more ironing out their back-end systems and servers and all that stuff. But it looks really polished already from what they're showing in the video. That said, it looks really like Unreal. It looks a lot like Unreal, actually. Probably to the same amount that Reflex looked like Quake. Although at least the weapons were a bit different from the trailer. Like, if they had a flamethrower and stuff.
Yep.
But it looks really good. I'm actually interested in playing it more so than Reflex, probably. But it's like dodge jumping and it's wall jumping.
Look, Colin. Look, I'm not trying to pump out, the epic stuff, but we got UT coming, and it's like everything that you're talking about is like in one ear, out the other for me, because I'm diehard Unreal, like, and everything else just looks. I mean, Toxic does look more like UT, so I'm interested in that. But
it's
Reflex,
the out of game stuff, which I'm interested with Toxic, which I think is going to take longer to come online for Unreal, just because obviously they just started and they're doing community source development, everything. It's be gameplay first.
Right.
Toxic's kind of got all that down already, and they're already starting to talk about, like, all right, what does the out of game stuff look like? So like that's where I'm more interested in, and that's something that Arena FPS has never had, is the out of game and matchmaking stuff. So. You're a little biased.
How am I biased?
A little biased.
How am I biased? We've been talking about. Look, Colin. We've already established that I love Unreal Tournament, and you love Quake. So this has been established.
Toxic uses Unreal Engine, though.
That's why I said I'm interested in it.
You have to be super excited about it.
I said I'm more interested in it than I am for Reflex or Reborn. But I mean, that UT is about to come out, dude, and I've already got my taste. I've already won some DMs, so I'm feeling good about myself on UT. So it's coming along. They've been doing streams on a weekly basis. Every Wednesday they have a stream, so you can check out all the cool stuff that they're doing.
So I mean, besides that, under the umbrella of Arena FPS Revival, Quake Live released on Steam this week. They're sitting at around it's probably like a 4K viewer or 4K player average daily, which is nice.
Not bad.
We'll see how that peters out over the next couple weeks. And we don't really know what it was before when it was on their website either.
Don't forget and we talked about this, they also changed the game.
They made some changes.
Major changes to the game.
And then in the pipeline, there's Reborn, which we talked about earlier, from Too Good and Company. That's to be really competitive focused. And they're kind of picking up a lot of stuff from Dota and Global Offensive in terms of how they're going to build the game and monetize it.
Yep.
Wrecked, which is it's another like Quake type game. UC4, Doom 4, Wakeland, which was pretty cool. I saw some videos of recently. Warzone, which is Warsaw and Nexon or Nexius, like mix kind of.
Okay.
And then there's like 5 or 6 more Arena games that are in development from different mod teams and small teams. So like all that stuff kind of coming together. eSports is thriving. It's going to be able to slot right in there.
Let's not forget about Cliff. Boss Key.
And Blue Stream. Although the
Blue
questions they've been
streak.
asking on
Blue
Twitter,
streak.
yeah, questions they've been asking on Twitter indicate they may not go full arena. We'll see though.
Yeah, I mean,
They might go Titanfall arena, kind of that
he
approach.
uh he actually the one tweet. I mean, he's made a whole bunch of references, but he was talking about loadout. He showed Helga twerking,
Yeah,
so that's when
they're checking out everything.
yeah.
And Halo 5 is another one which I'd say falls under it, and the way they're going for the gameplay sounds more arena focused
Yeah,
than maybe Halo 4 was.
definitely. So yeah, I would. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. We're gonna have a good. Yeah, we're gonna have a good ass time playing all these games. I don't know about Reflex might not make it, but I think Toxic, like you said, probably looks like it's gonna make it. I'm not interested in playing Quick Live since it's been mangled. I mean, I might play around with it a little bit, but I played way more Quick Live when we were back at eBash when it like first came out than I have like the last few years. Reborn, I want to try that out because I saw that I looked at was it like a 2-hour stream that you gave me?
It was from it was from the Dota group stages. They were doing some extra stuff after hours.
Yeah, so I mean, I watched that and I was really interested in how that game was coming along. I haven't seen Wrecked. UT4, obviously. Doom 4. I don't know about that. And these other ones I'm not sure on either. But yeah, I definitely want to try everything out for sure. I don't know how many of our viewers are big time arena FPS fans, but Colin and I, woo!
Looking forward to it. It's all gonna be PC though. I mean, no more wrecking people on console because they can't keep up.
Gonna be good. So the other thing, we're in Q&A session right now, by the way, guys. So if you have questions, let us know. If you have questions on YouTube, let us know. We'll answer them for you guys on the next show. How about that?
Will we?
I'll remember. I'll add them to our notes.
Okay.
They don't get added to the notes.
Our notes doc is 130 some pages on Google.
It is epic.
It's kind of slow to load now.
It is. I don't care though. This is the best notes document ever. I might start a new one for the new year when we go episode. What was it? 104.
100. Yeah.
100. That's nothing. We're still gonna be in season 2. Speaking of season 2, Arctic, are you going to try KI season 2? Probably not. There's just too many, Kupo. There's too many games for me to play right now, and like fighting games. I'm not. I have not given up. I have not given up. I have not given up.
Just going home. However, family man.
However, I just have to be honest. Like they're just kind of falling off right now.
Just not gonna play them.
They're just gonna fall off right now for a little bit because my main cup of tea is shooters, and there's a couple other games that I'm just more interested. Like Shadow of Mordor, I'm actually gonna pick that up this weekend, and I'm gonna be playing the shit out of that. So I don't know. R.I.P. Fight Night Skills? No, Murray. No. You still play Injustice? I do not own an Xbox 360 any longer, so no. You said you respect my honesty. Look, there's too many games out, and I don't have an interest in playing them right now.
I didn't follow enough of the Tokyo Game Show stuff.
TGS? Yeah, I didn't.
There wasn't really a lot of Final Fantasy 15 trailer. Did you see that? Did you see it?
The weirdness that is the Final Fantasy 15 trailer. Yeah, sure, I saw it. I saw it.
I like the someone posted the Zoolander gif of them in the car.
Yeah, just yeah. It was kind of weird. Like I didn't
much the vibe.
So Xbox One is having a price drop. It's going to be less than the PlayStation 4 in Europe, Colin.
Interesting. Do you think that?
Now, I'm not going to say I made these predictions, but I did make these predictions. I didn't call the country per se, But I did say
Continent.
before E3, I was like, they're gonna make some major announcement. Watch, they're gonna say something like, "We're gonna go $350." That's basically what they did, but they did in the UK. It's on sale right now. So making those moves, man. Moves. How do you think Loadout is doing? I'm not sure, Tiger Blue. I haven't checked them out on the Steam charts. Um, I know they had. Let's see where they're at right now. 549 in game. That's a little low. They're still showing up though. I mean, I think the game will do well when it releases on PlayStation. Injustice came out on PS4. I don't know the PS4 yet. Not yet. They need to go 350 in the States. Chokeller, I agree 100%. 100%. Upo with the bless you.
Thank you. Yeah, they also have the campaign beta as a separate app.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Ah, that makes sense.
Probably
That
so they can
makes
show at the top
sense.
of the Steam page as a new release. Then
That
they get
makes.
when they loop it in. Yeah.
Ah. I wonder how they managed to work that out with Valve in order to do that.
I don't know.
I didn't know that was a thing. Hold on. Let me look at that.
Campaign beta has 700 right now. Going
Okay.
between 1500 and 400.
Okay. Oh shit! Like this discovery page is throwing me off. I'm gonna spend some time in Steam, like figuring out how shit works now. It's all different. Do you like the blue that they chose for that hue?
It's a bit much.
It is, right?
Yeah. It doesn't like the window isn't blue. Like the frame is gray. You know what I mean? It's a bit clashing. That's all.
Fatal. Destiny is boring. It's an FPS Farmville.
I worked on Farmville. I will say that is not true.
Yeah.
I spent 3 months working on Farmville, and I can confirm that it's not Farmville.
Now, Fatal, you're a bit extreme. That was a bit extreme comparison there. What games are your holiday to buy list? I actually did a video about this. I think my to buy list is pretty short now. I think I just have Advanced Warfare, which I want to play, and Halo Master Chief Collection, and then Shadow of Mordor. I'm gonna pick that up. I don't know if you want to consider that holiday season rather than. I mean, it's we're in the game season right now, right? So that's it. And then the rest of them are kind of rentals. Like I want to rent Sunset Overdrive. I want to rent Alien Isolation. I
Yeah.
want to rent. Shit, there's one other game. Oh, I gotta take that back. I am purchasing Smash and Hyrule Warriors. I want to pick that up as well. I think that comes out like.
It's already out.
Is it already out? You sure? If it
Yeah.
is, I'm gonna go pick that up then.
It's
I
got
thought it
some.
came out like next week.
It's been reviewing all over the place, like the Dynasty Warriors games do.
Yeah.
Where it's like, if you're a fan of the genre, then it's
Then
pretty
it's
good.
it's awesome, right? Like,
It's
and then
it's pretty good. Is the as what I got from it. And then if you aren't a fan of the genre, then it's like a 6.
GTA PC. That's right, Pot even. I tweeted about that. January 1st, 5th, January something is when it comes out. 15th. Shit, I don't remember the date.
Yeah, I'm grabbing COD. Hopefully, get Halo for free.
You guys got any legendary or exotic in Destiny?
Alien and Shadow of Mordor.
So you're actually gonna pick up Alien?
I'm not gonna buy them.
You're gonna rent?
Yeah,
You're gonna rent Wait, what was the last one you said?
Mordor and Alien.
You're gonna rent Mordor?
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be that long.
What do you mean? It's an MMO, it's an RPG.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be that long.
Wait, so
It's an
if you
action
rent
RPG.
it,
It's an action RPG.
true. But if you rent it, you're saying that you only think there's gonna be what 30 hours worth of gameplay?
Yeah.
I think there's probably like 100,
I think there's 100?
maybe.
There's no way.
You don't think there's 100? I mean, the world looks big. Maybe the how they've shown the game is making it a little like I'm a little jaded towards how it looks. I feel like it's like Morrowind, and it's probably not,
I don't think it's like that at all.
or Skyrim. I don't know.
I was trying to find any quotes about how long they said it would take. Don't see anything though.
If you feel like it's a rental, and you think that, see, I haven't heard anything about that. So like, it's only been advertised as like an RPG, right?
I think
So
it's
I've
a
been
rental.
thinking like, shit, god damn it, Colin, ruining my hype. Buying it still.
I mean, on principle, I just don't buy single player games.
Red Hat Drew Mordor looks legit. I'm not a fan of Lord of the Rings. That's right.
Yeah, see, it's like more of an Assassin's Creed type length. That's what I believe.
Like Batman and Assassin's Creed. Okay. All right, guys. You guys are shifting my. I was thinking more Skyrim plus Batman.
It's all right
20
though.
to
They have a
30
season
hours?
pass. The
I'm
season
not
pass.
gonna-
There'll be more
I'm
games
not
coming.
I'm not going to do that at all. Can you rent games yet on your Xbox?
No.
Damn it. How dare you saving money? Watching any worlds at all? The Thrasher V3? Watching any worlds?
um, maybe. I watched like one match. Does that count?
No. I haven't watched any. No,
It's
I
just
haven't watched any.
I'll watch finals. I might watch semifinals. I just don't. Those games just aren't fun to watch. It's like one fight decides it, and then you're just coasting along with your gold lead. Not a fan.
Nemo, I just read you're saving up for a GTX 980, been on a 560 Ti for too long. I was on a 560 Ti until I upgraded mine. I think I have a 770. Colin, what did you buy?
650 Ti.
650, okay. The 980s look nice, dude. Like,
Well, yeah.
they look like they're gonna be nice.
You got that gaming laptop though. You're good.
Yeah, I do. Um,
Laptop.
you are breaking up again. So I imagine one of our internets is trying to crap out on us. The thing is, like, I'm getting nothing but green bar, no frames drop, so it has to be your end, Colin.
I can't. The stream went down. I can't take down your stream.
I don't understand. I have no drop frames, nothing. You know what the shitty part of this is? I have to go back and edit this together to make it one episode.
Yeah.
That's the terrible part of when this happens that you guys don't know about. Like, sucks. They got my money.
When was the last time you checked the Star Citizen update?
I haven't checked in a little while. I was at $60 in. I just recently stopped subscribing for $60 because I got all the stuff I want now.
Mm-hmm. Now you just have to wait for them to actually make a game.
Yep. I got my modules.
Have you loaded up the modules?
One, I loaded up the hangar.
You didn't load up the fighting?
Nope.
Okay. Sounds like you made a wise purchase. Something you're really excited for.
I will be.
When it's done and you could have bought it?
Yep. So that's it. That's all we got for today's show. Is there anything like Colin, like random movies, anything you want to talk about real quick? You want to hit up before we sign off?
Shit, there was one and I already forgot it again. It's awful. It's just awful. That's it.
It's secretly canceled. It's back. No. Elite, you said you wouldn't put past 40 hours, 100% completion? God damn you guys.
Oh, it was John Wick. Are you going to see John Wick?
John Wick.
Are you going to see it?
Yes.
It's getting good reviews, too.
How? Listen, for anyone that hasn't seen the John Wick trailer, you need to fucking watch that trailer. You need to fucking watch that trailer. It looks... The plot of it is so outrageous, right? Like, I lost my puppy from my dying wife. That's all I had. That's it. And then he goes on a rampage.
But Keanu kills it.
Stone-faced Keanu Reeves, John Wick.
It's gotten, it has 100 on Rotten Tomatoes right now, 7 out of 7.
Oh my god.
So it's on my list. Apparently they played at Fantastic Fest here in Austin.
It was the last gift of my
Otherwise, it doesn't go next month. End of the month is when it goes live.
John Wick looks awesome. No Food Logic, not this week. We got Movie Logic this week.
It has Alfie Allen from Game of Thrones.
Yep.
Who I can only see in his Game of Thrones role.
I've watched the trailer now 4 times.
Looks good.
4 times. Yeah, Fatal. I'm with you, dude. I watched it 4 times.
I read an article on Maze Runner. It seems interesting. I might. That's probably what I'll wait till it gets on DVD.
Maze Runner? I haven't seen that.
It's like a Hunger Games kind of plot, but not really. More serious.
Well, guess we'll sign off for this show.
You killed my puppy! Alright. Let's go play some Destiny.
Alright, we're signing off. Fucking Sky Captain's signing on to Destiny. Frag Logic. Episode 86 in the bag. Later.
Have a good night, guys.